we're going to get into some stuff. We're not going to stop. Church folk don't like it. Israel don't like it. We're not going to stop. But I told y'all, we not finna shut down them pews. We can't shut them pews down. I ain't forgot about Richard. Y'all offended because we couldn't find Richard? Y'all offended behind that? No, everything going to be talked about. We're going to discuss everything because folk is scared. Now, when people don't want to come, like with the pews and everything, when people don't want to come start talking, we ain't got to validate nothing. No, you're going to show and prove. We're going to bring it out. We're going to build. People offended, and I lost some subscribers, and people had sent me some hate mail because I told the pastor, yo, we could just move on, just repent, and that do make-believe, that. Y'all trying to act different. They done had a whole big thing. Boy, I ain't impressed. I ain't impressed, and a whole bunch of people ain't impressed. But you're right, y'all ain't got to impress us. But once information get put out there, once you start claiming and saying things, people finna say your name. This is it. This is what it is. We can't go now and try to blocking people. Yo, you gotta shut down that video and trying to do this and trying to do that. Ain't gonna be none of that. You came up here boldly with some bold statements made. And when them bold statements are made, we gonna have to handle it. We gotta handle when bold statements are made. When people say some bold stuff that is out there, people gonna download it, people gonna say the video, even you get rid of the video, and people gonna talk, and people gonna spread it. All of this is for posterity's sake. It's gonna get spread.
It is your boy, Faithful to God. And if you've been following my channel, you know that we have been embroiled in a back and forth with We Woke Now, Boom Church Atlanta, and various other Hebrew Israelites on the topic of the Georgia pews. The controversy initially began in November of last year, in which Boom Church Atlanta had reached out to one David Bunis, a Hebrew scholar who was alleged to have endorsed Benaiah Yisrael's supposed claim of solitreo appearing on one of the pews in First African Baptist Church in Savannah. The truth of the matter is that Boom Church Atlanta had badly misrepresented David Bunis's findings. Bunis never agreed with the conclusion that solitreo appeared on the pews. He also did not believe that the so-called phrase, "praise Yah with a bass voice," appeared on the pew either, which was Benaiah's initial claim. Rather, Bunis shared a very hesitant opinion based on the vague similarity of two characters on the pew, based on the highlighting when turned 180 degrees, which, by the way, fundamentally contradicted Benaiah's original claim when the pew was left as was and read left to right as he tried to read it, based on his misunderstanding of an online Hebrew translating tool. And because of this, Boom Church Atlanta then decided to supposedly reach out to a new scholar by the name of Richard Katz. But as it was discovered, the relevant scholar was in fact William Brown, the pastor of Boom Church himself, pretending to be a Hebrew scholar by the name of Richard Katz. One of the more recent controversies has been the idea that we had somehow bullied David Bunis into supposedly recanting his position, when the reality is David Bunis never actually endorsed their position to begin with. Now, as you're going to see, various followers of Boom Church Atlanta and We Woke Now have been engaging in conversation in the comment section of other videos with people involved, in which they have been hurling this allegation that Boom Church Atlanta and others have alleged about us supposedly bullying the relevant scholar. Now, as you can see on your screen, the controversy is truthfully very sad, because it shows that, one, people have not actually gone out of their way to watch our videos to see what the scholar himself had to say about the issue. But second, it also shows that the followers of Boom Church Atlanta and We Woke Now are willing to engage in equally deceptive behavior in trying to undermine any sort of counter evidence that shows that the side that they are endorsing has actually been engaging in willfully deceptive behavior, not only misrepresenting a scholar, but inventing a scholar in the process. But I'm going to let you guys listen to a clip from We Woke Now, in which they will put forth the supposed allegation with really no proof whatsoever.
What caused the sudden shift with Professor David Bunis? What was said or written in the emails he received? What's the agenda? This person goes by the name of Joseph Patterson. Initially, I thought this was one of the many dummy accounts the urban apologetic community are known to create for the purpose to hide behind. They use dummy accounts to boost their subscribers and attack others. What's sad and alarming about this individual, he is an educator. He is a youth pastor in his local assembly. He is actually a leader. Now, pay attention to the deceptive email he sent to the professor. I want you to pay attention to the red flags. It says, "Good evening, Dr. Bunis. I am Joseph Patterson, and I am an educator at a local high school in Virginia. And I have a few of my former students who identify with such groups as the moderate Hebrew Israelites, who has used your name and credentials to deduce that since Hebrew language was written on the pews by black slaves, therefore blacks who came by way of the transatlantic slave trade are the true Jews." Well, I figured. Now notice the buzzword, moderate Hebrew Israelites. Notice how he strategically used the phrase true Jews with the words Jews in caps. All who understand email etiquettes in a professional workplace know that you are not supposed to type words or sentences in capital letters, because this means that the person is yelling or raising their voice. This email had nothing to do with a desire for truth, but a desire to intimidate and discourage this professor. There is so many red flags in this email thread. Why did this person feel the need to inject biased, deceptive, racial constructs such as moderate Hebrew Israelites into his email? Why did this person deceptively inject the anti-Semitism tone to his thread? It is a dead giveaway and has the urban apologetic community fingerprints all over it.
After having listened to We Woke Now's baseless assertions, allow me to introduce factual evidence that reflects reality. On your screen is the correspondence that took place between Abu and David Bunis on December the 13th of last year, and it reads, "Dear Abdelmasih, thanks for replying. Yes, your suggestion about seeing the sin and Lamed and the rest unclear sounds right." Notice that David Bunis does not endorse the position that We Woke Now and Boom Church initially tried to put forth in the video from November of last year. And notice too the cordial tone of the message, showing that David Bunis was not bullied and that he still engaged Abu very charitably. But listen to We Woke Now and Boom Church's initial claim in
he
their video.
actually confirmed that what you're saying and how you translated it was actually correct in how you translated it. So not only did it confirm what it sees, what it says here in, take or grasp the way of the Lord or God, he confirms the way you laid it out. And so we go to the next slide here. And so this is another aspect of it, because we had it tilted from, in landscape, but now this is vertical, the actual picture of it. So it kind of gives you more of a understanding of it. So after all of that in the package sent to him, not only did you bring out, but he also it showed there was some other aspects within the pews that we didn't know, or in the pews. So not only does it says take a grasp of God, but it said take a grasp of Yah or God Israel with a bass voice, as you put it, or with a loud voice, meaning praise him loudly. That's what this means. So Abu asked, can we find a coherent sentence? Well, yeah, we just did. And not only that, we got a scholar to back it. So we know what the actual language is. We know what's on the pews. We know what the specific pew says.
On your screen is what originally appeared on Boom Church Atlanta's Facebook page, and it says, with the official stamp of scholar and PhD with the H capitalized, Professor David Bunis. But as you all well know, David Bunis never actually endorsed their position, and it shows the deceptive nature of Boom Church Atlanta. On your screen was David Bunis' correspondence with various people on the 27th of November of last year, and it reads, "Hello, thanks for your questions. No, I didn't say the script was solitreo, But I did say that it looked to me like the inscription could say Yisrael in regular Hebrew square script. Of course, I may be wrong. Best wishes, David. Notice that Bunis never actually endorsed the position. And here is Bunis's correspondence with Will Brown on November the 27th of last year, and it reads, "Dear Will, sorry not to get back to you after you wrote again. I'm very busy with a project I've got to finish up, and it's leaving me no time for anything else. I received an email from someone called, name omitted. I'll forward it. Maybe you've been in touch with him. He says he also thinks the inscription could say Yisrael, but we both think it's not in solitaire script, but in regular Hebrew square letters. Best wishes, David." Here, David Bunis is sharing hesitant words with Will Brown based on the highlighted markings that Benaiah and Will Brown had sent to him. But on December the 3rd of 2020, David Bunis responded to various people, including William Brown, by saying, "Thanks for your email. When I expressed a few hesitant words about what was written on the church pew, I had no idea that it would help cause such a furor locally and maybe beyond. When I first saw the inscription, I thought it might be Arabic script. Then, after seeing some interpretations by others, it seemed to me that one might be able to read the Hebrew word Yisrael, that is Israel, in it. I am far from sure about this, nor do I think that what seems to be some kind of inscription on the pew is in solitaire script, or is necessarily in Hebrew at all. Judging from the reactions I've been receiving, my words were rather misrepresented on William Brown's program. Only part of our email correspondence was presented, and even that seems to have been partially misinterpreted. Peace to all from Jerusalem." Here, David Bunis is very clear that he never endorsed William Brown's position, and this speaks volumes to the deceptive nature of William Brown. Now, this conversation took place between David Bunis and Abu on the 3rd of December of last year, and it reads, "Dear Mr. Al-Mahatani or Abdel Masih, thanks for your email. I'm sorry it took a while for me to reply. Basically, I confirm your understanding of my correspondence with William Brown. As I had written him in the beginning, the letters looked more Arabic than Hebrew to me, but I'm certainly no authority in Arabic paleography. Before writing you, I spoke with someone very familiar with various Arabic and Hebrew scripts, and he was unable to read any Arabic or frankly Hebrew words out of the church pew inscriptions. When someone who had looked at the inscription showed us how he thought the Hebrew word for Israel, Yisrael, might be read out of it, it looked to me like it might possibly be so, although I could not see this clearly without the markings and darkenings that he, i.e. William Brown, evidently added. To your questions, did you in fact reach a firm conclusion that a discernible Hebrew phrase is on the relevant pew? Or did you merely suggest possible interpretations of a collection of markings open to multiple interpretations? And did you support a reading that could be translated, "Take a grasp of the Lord," etc.? If so, can you share what the precise Hebrew phrase was which was translated that way? My reply is no, I definitely did not reach a firm conclusion to the effect. And yes, I think that at most, the markings are open to multiple interpretations. I certainly cannot make any connection between the English phrase you cited and any Hebrew expression I can think of. Mic drop.